Hello and welcome back to the channel. Here's two important questions for you. Have you found yourself at the tee box ready to rip some giant D and found yourself falling maybe just a little bit shorter than you'd like? Have you found yourself fading at the end of rounds, or if you try to play 2 rounds in one day, you can't accomplish this? It could be, yes, your technique is off and that's what's causing the problems, but it also could be because you're not strong enough to complete those tasks. If you think you fall into that category, or you want to add strength, distance, or durability to your game, I'm here to help with our second workout on the channel. And today's workout is going to be a medicine ball workout. Using a medicine ball workout has tons of benefits. The first main benefit is it's going to work on our explosiveness and our dynamic movements. It's also going to strengthen us through our kinetic chain and also work on our core strength and stability. All things we need to eject that disc with maximum force and increase our distance. If you don't have a medicine ball, don't worry about it. In the video, you'll see me using a volleyball. You can use a volleyball or a basketball or something along those lines, especially if you feel like a medicine ball is a little too heavy for you. When I put together these exercises, I had a couple of goals in mind. Number one, make the workout a full body workout, but also getting your body moving through all 3 planes of human movement. Do you know what the 3 planes of human movement are? If not, you're not alone. It's gonna stretch my early morning memory just to tell you what they are. So here we go. The sagittal plane is from front to back, our frontal plane is from side to side, and our transverse plane is rotational. There are hundreds of different exercises you can do with the medicine ball. So if you have other activities you enjoy and like to do with the medicine ball, go ahead and use those. I've been a baseball coach for 24 years and I've had plenty of time to work with tons of different athletes at a multitude of levels. And the 2 biggest mistakes I continuously see is 1, we always try to grab the heavier medicine ball first, and 2, we just jump right into the most advanced routine we possibly can before we master the basic movements. So please make sure you master the basic stuff. I'll show you a couple of lead up things, then go with the lighter balls, and then move on to the heavier balls. What weight should you use? You should probably use a medicine ball between the weights of 6 pounds and 12 pounds. That's really the range we want to end up in. Again, if 6 pounds is too heavy for you, don't worry about it. Use something lighter. Like I said, I'm using a volleyball and a couple of drills in this video. If you already have a workout routine, maybe you're in the weight room doing some deadlifts or squats or something along those lines, which are very beneficial as well, I would suggest doing your medicine ball routine first and then moving on to those heavier lifts. When I work with my athletes, that's the order that we go. The medicine ball will give you a great warm up to help you with those activities as well. Before you start any exercise routine, please make sure you check with your doctor to make sure it's okay. And while you're doing these activities, if you're experiencing any pain, please stop. So without further ado, let's play with our balls. Our medicine balls, that is. All right, let's get started with some non-throwing activities. Our first one is going to be a drop step split squat with the medicine ball hold. First lead up is just doing it with your bare hands. You can notice I'm dropping my foot all the way back as far as I can, while also keeping my foot in a straight line in the front. When we grab our medicine ball, we're not going to push it up against our chest. We're actually going to hold it out in front of our body. That's going to give our upper body a nice little workout as well. And again, we're just focusing on a controlled motion, great posture. This is going to be great for our power step and our functional training. And hey, if you don't have a medicine ball, you got a spare kid laying around, you can go ahead and do some reps in your house. Maybe you've got 2 jobs. Maybe you've got 2 kids. I don't know, I'm just pulling an example out of nowhere. You can do it this way and be creative. There's tons of different activities you can do with a medicine ball, and if you're a busy person, you just gotta make it work however it works. So if these exercises aren't the best fit for you, find some that are. Our next exercise is a forward lunge with a twist. This is also great for our core and legs. If you notice, I'm keeping the ball out in front of my body in a straight line. I'm also keeping it parallel to the ground as I'm turning. And also when I'm taking my step out, my back knee is not hitting the ground. This will be perfect for our body control and also, once again, working our core strength here. Here's a couple of lead ups you can do if you're struggling a little bit, or before you even start, Just work on that flexibility of your spine with your knee on the ground. I'm going to show you front angle. Just holding your hands out parallel. Just making sure we're working the correct angle so you can get a feeling of how it's going to feel when you do it. And again, without the ball first, master that movement, and then we will move up to the light ball. Then we'll move up to the heavy ball. Please make sure you're not jumping right into the most advanced technique and the heaviest ball possible. We want to make sure our technique is perfect first. You can notice I'm getting nice 90-degree lines with my feet and legs. That's what we want as we're doing this activity. And notice I'm under control. Well, maybe not that time. That wasn't a great example, but I'm usually under control while I'm doing the motions. After we master the movement without the ball, you can move on to getting on your knee and just doing the movement with the weight so you can get how it feels. And then you can do the full activity. Our next exercise is a side jump with the medicine ball. You notice I'm using both my legs and my arms in conjunction. It's a little bit of a challenging activity. As you can see me going back and forth, I'm struggling with my balance on some of them, and that's what makes it a challenge. This is great for learning our brace. Here's our lead up, doing it without the ball. Notice I'm using my arms to help propel me and explode as far out as I can while maintaining control. And like I said in the beginning, you know, if you're struggling with the 6-pound medicine ball, you know, go ahead and use the lighter one. This is a volleyball, nice and light, but you can get the movement in there. Our plyometric push-up is our next exercise. It's amazing for upper body strength and explosiveness. This is a little bit of a challenge, and if you notice, I'm doing the push-up around the medicine ball. The medicine ball is not moving. That's a very key component. Let's start off with the lead up. If you can't do push-ups, we gotta start here, making sure we're keeping our body and spine straight and breaking that 90-degree angle. Once we master the basic push-up, we can use a medicine ball one-hand push-up. Of course, if you're going to do this, make sure you're doing the other side as well. And once you do that, you can move into the advanced plyometric push-up. Here's an advanced non-throwing exercise, a squat with a medicine ball reach. This is really going to challenge your perfect squat form. Notice I'm keeping my arm nice and straight, aligned with my spine, or trying to anyways. I need to really work on my scapular flexibility here, but we're getting down into our perfect squat position while we are keeping our arms perfectly straight. It is an extremely difficult challenge as you're working your way up into heavier medicine balls. So make sure you're videoing yourself so you can show that you have the correct form. All right, let's move on to some throwing movements. Our first throwing movement is a staple exercise. If you're gonna pick one, here's one to do. And it's just our general medicine ball slam. As a general rule, anytime we're throwing a medicine ball, we want to throw it as hard as we can. And if you notice, I'm getting that medicine ball all the way back behind my head so I can get some tricep work in as well. And just following the midline of my body and working my way into a squat as I'm slamming the ball as hard as I can into the ground. A little note for yourself, watch out for the ball bouncing back. Could hit you in the face. So that's something you need to watch out for. There's different types of medicine balls for different types of activities. My smaller medicine ball is actually the slam medicine ball. This volleyball is definitely not meant for this, but I wanted to show a lighter version. We certainly don't want to hit ourselves in the face with the ball, so make sure you watch out for this. This is an advanced movement in our medicine ball slam. If that's easy for you, you can work on one leg stability by slamming it with one hand. Notice my front knee is coming up, kind of like a lead, and then using that to propel myself to slam it even harder. I'm showing you only one side. Please make sure you're using both sides whenever you do any activity. So if you work out one side, make sure you work the other. Our next throwing activity is a rotational med ball slam. This is great to get our hips engaged into our throw. We're just working ourselves around. Here's our medicine ball that's made for slamming. And once again, we're working over our head, keeping our arms bent, really working the movement from our hips. Anytime we're doing any one of these throws, that's where we want to originate the throw, really working our hips and our core, and then letting our arms follow through to get that maximum power. I'm showing you the advanced movement with this activity with the volleyball. All we're going to do is have a little split stance and really turn our hips as we're slamming the ball down to the ground. Once again, make sure you're watching out if you're using a lighter ball because it's going to bounce everywhere. Here's the ball that's actually made for slamming. A lot easier. But once again, same movement. We're just adding an additional challenge by having a split squat. Really going to challenge your balance and give you a new look on that core strength.
Our first wall ball activity is a medicine ball hip toss. This is a staple activity. Also, if you're going to pick one thing to do, this is a great one. Notice I'm originating the throw from my hip. I'm bending my hip back first, causing some break in my knees, and then I'm exploding forward, trying to get it right in the middle of the ball. Once again, this doesn't look like I'm throwing it hard, but it's a heavy medicine ball. I'm throwing it as hard as I can. It's a little early in the morning, so I haven't woken up yet, but I'm still throwing it as hard as I can. The medicine ball scoop toss is another great activity for disc golfers, really golfers in general. I'm standing with my hips perpendicular to the wall, and I'm generating this throw once again from my hips. One of the key mistakes is people go backwards too fast when they're reaching that ball back, and that little movement I'm showing. We want to go nice and smooth, just like we do in a disc golf throw, and then explode out into the wall, generating that power from our hips. I'm also using my backhand to be under the ball a little bit to help with our upper body strength. An advanced movement is working a shuffle into this exercise. And again, only till you've mastered the throw do you do the advanced stuff. The shuffle can mess up the technique and cause some problems as you're doing this exercise. We can also be creative and work in our X step as we're doing our medicine ball scoop toss, which is a great activity. Here's a great variation of the scoop toss. We're just going to add a drop step. This is a great activity for someone who's working on getting their power from their back hip. If you're struggling with that, this is the activity for you. That drop step resets our weight and really forces us to get our power starting from our back hip. All the technique is the same. You're just adding that drop step, but it makes a humongous difference with your lower half. So make sure you try that out. Our final wall activity is a split stance scoop toss. We're actually throwing in an opposite direction of all our other scoop tosses. So this is a great variation to mix in to work in balance. Once again, we're adding this additional challenge of balancing with our split stance in order to create more stability in our body. Important technique note for this, make sure we're resetting our feet in proper position. That would be both facing forward before we start generating our power. Once again, we're generating our power from our hips. Our final activity is a reverse throw. This is an advanced technique, so make sure you're using something very light to start. Usually a tennis ball or a softball would work. Don't move to heavier stuff until you have the technique down. Notice I'm on one knee and both my legs are at 90-degree angles. We're going to start the ball even with our front foot and in front of our downed knee, and then throw back at a 45-degree angle. Once again, this is a challenging activity, so get the technique right and use a light ball.
That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found something that you could use for your workout routine, or if you don't have a workout routine, you're going to start doing this. Hopefully it will help you a great deal. Again, thanks for the support for the channel. Please like and subscribe. If you want more of these kind of videos, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to make some more. I've got plenty of things that I can show athletes to make themselves better. Until next time, peace!